Today, the 10th of May, is my cousin Trenton Foley's birthday. He would have been 40 today. On Sunday, the 7th of May, at about 1:30, he passed away peacefully, surrounded by family and friends, and his beautiful, loving son, Floyd. Trenton was diagnosed with brain cancer in July last year. That day, or just not long prior to that, he's a tradie. He's a classic, quintessential, lovable Aussie larrikin. He was loved and adored by friends and family. He'd been up working on a roof and he'd just been in to get his eyes checked but was told to go to the doctor instead. And he was going back to work to jump back on roof or whatever it is tradies do in that industry, and they rang him and said that he needed to come back quickly, and they were surprised that he was still walking. Trenton was a young man who, as I said, absolutely adored by family and friends. He was a kind-hearted, generous, really fun person. When I turned 50 a little while ago, I had a granny get down, and it was a celebration of the privilege of growing old. And ironically, he turned up there dressed as an old granny, and the whole family came along, and he dressed as a just to spare the horrid details, in a suit that was a naked old granny. And that was Trenton all over. He was always full of fun and always laughing, and every picture you see of him will be with this beautiful big smile on his face and these big sparkling blue eyes. And the comments that you read from friends is all about how he was good fun, but he was there for them too. He was full of compassion and heart and a beautiful family member. He's survived by his young son, as I said, who started kindy this year, so you got to see his son start kindy. His wife, Marina, is also obviously quite devastated, but is beautifully supported by Trenton's family, my auntie and uncle, Polly and Bernie Foley, who are the kindest, most generous people in the world. I adore them. Bernie has worked for Life Education for many, many years as their executive officer. They have worked with the Spina Bifida Association. Trenton's sister Chantal was born with spina bifida, and so they have given a lot of themselves to supporting groups and people who are also born and living with spina bifida. I feel like there could be no less deserving family than the Foley family to experience this. They're so kind, they're so giving. Marnie Polly's worked as an education assistant all her life, and every time you see her, you can hear the love and dedication. She talks about the kids all the time, and she remembers all of them, and they still come and see her. And her house at the end of the year is always, I've never seen it in any teacher quite to this extent, filled with gifts from these kids, because they're just such kind and generous and beautiful people, and they really are my favourite family in the whole world. And whenever I was in Perth, at different times throughout my life, I'd always go and stay with them, and they probably didn't realise just how much I adore them and how I used to seek out going to stay with them, because they were always so very kind and they always made me feel great to be around. And I'm sure that's a huge part of the reason why both Chantal, their daughter, and Trenton were always such beautiful, kind, loving people. I wanted to celebrate Trenton's life today. He'll be forever 39. He's made an amazing impact on the people around him. And I know that I feel quite confident, I should say, that if Trenton had words to share with people as part of his parting, and it would be to celebrate the gift of life, to grab all those moments you get to spend with family, and spend them in every opportunity, and don't forget that we're here for a good time, not a long time. And I would just like Trenton to make sure that he's looking after my old nan up there, Midnight Maud, as we used to like to call her. She was great fun too. And that I had a Kraken rum, it was one of his favourites, on the Sunday night to celebrate his life. We love you, Trenton.